Good morning, everybody. Today is June 6th in the year 2022. It is 10 a.m. Eastern, and we are live. We're here doing our town hall thing, getting ready, getting the people here. We're a little bit developer light this morning, so we're going to get some updates on creative and marketing and plans and all the stuff that we're building. But we've been pretty heavily swamped with developers for the past couple of weeks, so we're giving them a little bit of a break here. Anyways, the voice that you're listening to, this is Agrode. I'm one of the founders of Splinterlands. I'm the CEO, which I tell people now it stands for Chief Executive Overlord. I feel like that's a little bit more fitting for our gaming world. Why don't we do some of the standard introductions here? We have both Nate and we have Chatter. Do you guys want to go say a quick hello and introduce yourselves? He points to Chatter.
I'll take it first, I guess. Yeah, so for those who don't know me, I am Chatter, the Director of Growth and Marketing here at Splinterlands. If there's anything partnership related, if you have any questions on the marketing side of things, I'm your go-to.
And Nate, who are you, sir?
Hello, I am Nate, VP of Creative for Splinterlands, and I oversee the UI, the UX, the art, the animation, the sound, the music, the stories, all the creative stuff that you might experience either on the front end or elsewhere out there in the internet. So I think I have the most fun.
It's possible. It's possible. And WeirdBeard, you who are you? What do you do around here?
I do esports and tournaments. So if you compete against other live human players, I'm your guy that's going to either set that up or bring in new people into the ecosystem from the outside that want to be a part of our awesome tournaments.
All right, and then Doogie, are you here in live? Is he just lurking, or are you here, Doogie? Oh, you're unmuted, but I don't see you talking. All right, we'll come back to Doogie in a little bit. All right. Anyways, this is the town hall. So the way that these things go, they're typically done in 3 steps. The step 1 is that we'll go kind of give you an update from the business. Step 2, we will answer questions that have come in previously from players. And step 3, we'll go open it up to anybody in the community to ask whatever they want. These are truly AMAs, so we do our best to answer everything. At times we might have to punt, but it's all fair game. And then we have a fair number of people to go introduce today. So the Splinterland team, it keeps growing. We're probably up to 150 people so far. So we have folks from the sound team, the HR team, our artist, one of our artists who's been working with us forever. Noda from head of security, and then some concept art today. So a pretty broad list of people. So I think we're going to keep sort of game updates not too out there, and then we're going to shift over to a whole bunch of introductions because we got 5 of them to make today. And it's important to me that the people understand that there's a lot of people in this company. A year ago, it was me, Matt, and Nate just trying to figure out how stuff worked, and Cryptomancer coming in and coding it all. And now it's like a real enterprise. We got people working here and doing the stuff. So Liam, what do you think are sort of the biggest developments that we need to be talking about? We got ranked rewards. We just had this validator sale. Anything else that is sort of big up on that list in your brain?
Yeah, rank rewards. I mean, the nodes are going to be something that we talk about for months to come down the road too. I think it's going to be super incremental and then influential for sales as well when we kind of keep pushing that with that crowd there. But other things to talk about, we have plushies that are going to be going on sale end of day today. So 5 p.m. Or 8 p.m. EST, I believe, is the time for it. We'll make an official announcement about that. And then I know there's going to be the Modern vs. Wild coming up as well. So some more stuff in the pipeline there to get excited about.
Sweet. All right. Well, why don't you take it away? Tell us, from a marketing perspective, what are the big things that have happened? What are the big things coming? And give us your thoughts and details on it.
Awesome. Yeah. So as I mentioned, plushie sale is going to be kicking off later this afternoon. All those plushies are going to be made to order, so there's going to be a month or two in the creation time and sending and everything, but they're going to be all kind of handmade, super high quality. Really excited about those. That's going to be the Biz Kitty and the Yoden plushies that are going out. The in-person events, those are being worked on right now. So Splinterfest is all getting kind of spun up. We have most of the kind of little loose ends tied at this point. Ticket prices and travel guides and everything should be getting posted this week, hopefully. More come about the actual events and panels and everything that we're going to be hosting in the Splinterfest event there. But otherwise, we're looking at a whole bunch of in-person events too. In the Philippines, been working really closely with a few of our community members, Ace, Mango, Level Up Life. I believe some of them are in the chat right now. So please say hi if you are, but they've been super awesome to work with, looking at getting some events in Venezuela and some other countries as well. But otherwise, really looking at kind of scaling our ads some more too. We've had a little bit of kind of stop and start with Google. There's been a verification process that we've had to really kind of tackle and get all that done, but hopefully we'll be figured out again this week and we should be back up to kind of getting all the scaling going. More partnerships coming down the pipeline. We have a few really big names that we're looking to partner with for tournaments and their events. That's going to be like some kind of like the Red Bulls and everything else of the world there. So hopefully that all goes well. Otherwise, looking to get a whole bunch more giveaways going, some more community events, getting a whole bunch more kind of like social events going with other companies too, and some more partnerships in the pipeline. So look out for those. Should be coming pretty soon.
Awesome. WeirdBeard, it's been a couple weeks. You know, do you want to go tell us kind of like where are people at with talking about tournaments, tournament structure, guild structure? Like, what's the latest flavor from the community on all that?
Well, one of the really cool milestones we're about to pass, $6 million in prizing that we've done in tournaments internally alone, which is a phenomenal number when you really step back and look at it. Whenever we're talking partnerships with outside companies, the moment we say that we've done almost $6 million our own, really kind of blows people away. So that's a huge number, and I'm very excited to be able to pass that. We should be able to pass that by the end of next week because we just barely miss it this week. And outside of that, we're looking at being able to organize not this week but next week a mini town hall, like a mini gathering of people that want to come in and talk about brawls and guilds and things along those lines, just so that we can get kind of a contained talk session about it. So look for the ping in the Brawls channel later this week once we have the exact details set up. Anybody is able to come to that. A lot of the things that I like to say is that nothing's on fire right now, which is super great. Like that's the best that you can really kind of ask for things is everything's moving along. The tournaments themselves were running into just as a note for some people that if you're doing and organizing your own outside tournament and you're not using an SPS or DEC value as a prize, there has been a known issue where it sometimes doesn't distribute some of those prizes. So if you are using things such as like PKM or other things like that, please make sure to double check with the people that do prize. If there's any issues, you can always reach out in our channel and be able to handle that then.
Sweet. Nothing on fire. Like that almost feels sort of company wide, actually. Like it's been
Isn't
a
that
while.
nice?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it in that kind of context, but it's been a while since I've been like, "Oh crap, is the game going to run today?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap, like what else? What other things are breaking? Like it's been a little while since I've really felt that like things are on fire landscape. That's a nice reminder, WeirdBeard, to just be grateful for the kind of team that we've built, the talent that they bring, and the way that they keep this thing operating. Maintenance periods have been relatively short and productive, and I don't know, all these things are working. That's pretty damn good.
Well, one of the other big benefits too is that it allows us to really work on that backlog, all the things that we've been needing to get to. Like fires are what prevents stuff like that from getting done because you always have to be like, okay, but this is broken, so I have to fix this now. Since there's nothing totally broken at the moment, it allows us to really kind of step back and look at some of these bigger picture things that we've been pumping out. Like you have all the validator nodes that just came out. You have the different things that are, like coming with Modern Wild. You have the different things happening with all the other movement on just projects. it's really nice to be able to see that actually happening.
Yeah, and Matt chimed in. I guess Matt's listening. Hey Matt, how you doing? But he's saying that that issue should be fixed with the release tomorrow.
Perfect.
So the distribution of those tokens, if you're still having problems after tomorrow, that would be a little bit shocking, not entirely, but you know, this stuff can take a couple iterations to get right. But again, our team has been doing a really like bang up job of making sure things operate and doing so effectively and efficiently. Nate, what do you have on your brain for like the stuff going out? You know, like what is your like? We got rank rewards out. That was the thing that would be like burning a hole, or you know, might feel like it's on fire. We got the validator node sale going. That's out there. Like what's burning a hole in your pocket? What are you getting ready for next?
I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that's being worked on. I'm trying to think of let's see. So I would probably say that you know, we do want to eventually get back to the rank rewards and polish that up a little bit. We're working on Modern Wild, finishing up and trying to finalize the what are the Wild League badges going to look like. And you know, maybe later on I'll share some of the concepts that are being worked on in regards to that. There's also, you know, there's some Splinterfest related stuff that we want to do from the website. There's I know that you requested what was it? I think you and Hardpoint requested a SPS spinner. So it's not just the monster teeth. It's and that's something that we're looking at right now, is try to make it so that just little quality of life oohs and ahs, that a little sizzle of the game where, you know, you claim your SPS and you get something slightly different, maybe a little bit cooler. But yeah, we're all over the place, all kinds of exciting things being worked on. I personally am super enthused about the fact that I didn't even realize how many creatives were going to be on the town hall today. And I look and I'm like, whoa, I got, you know, BlauDisS on here. Whoa, I got Lary on here. Whoa, I got, you know, Alex on here. So it's going to be exciting. And when I found out that they were going to be on like 15 minutes ago or whatever, I frantically started looking at the project management board to say, well, you know, I should find something to share as they kind of get on board and start talking about what they do and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on. All of it's exciting. And of course, land is definitely in our sights.
The graphics, the phase 0 for land is really like the non-card market. Have you guys submitted all the mock-ups that you need for what that stuff ought to look like? Do we know what designs, or at least the first pass of designs, will be?
Yes, actually, we currently right now we are trying to finish up the UX and the wireframing, which is almost done, and half of those wireframe specs have been already given to the devs to execute on, and the remaining batch of wireframe layouts should be in their hands in the next few days. In the meantime, we are working on the creative assets necessary to kind of support that and bring that to life, whether it's little icons and background art and things of that nature. But it is actively being worked on right now, so I don't think it's that far away.
Nice. Okay. Any eye candy that you want to show us today, or is it, you know, a smattering from all the different new folks that are here?
Yeah, I mean, since I already mentioned the well, I'll give you a taste, then we could finish up later on, or however you want to, whatever order you want to do it in.
You tell me. I work for the people. I'm here for you,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Well, since I already mentioned the wild stuff, we're trying to figure out what direction to take with the Wild League badges. And what's interesting, what I think that a lot of people miss, is the fact that there's a lot of stuff that you don't see. Meaning the process, the work in progress stuff. There's so much that gets cut, it hits the editing room floor, and never sees the light of day. So just to give you an idea of some of that process in trying to find, because when we initially added a leaderboard to the game and added the leagues, and we just kind of made some badges that we thought, well, these will look good. These are good, and we throw them out there, and those are the badges you guys have grown accustomed to seeing. Now we're in a much better position, as you pointed out. We're a much bigger company, and we can kind of like really sink our teeth into the process and make sure that it meets the needs of narrative, meets the needs of the scalability of the game, where we're trying to go, what we're trying to do, what's the experience we want to give the players. All that stuff is now taken into account. And as a result, even something as simple as league badges, go through an artistic process. Just to give you a glimpse behind the curtain, here is a lot of the concepts that were thrown against the wall. It may be that none of them actually make it in the game. It may be that some of what you see here actually does make it in the game, but it's up to you to kind of speculate. But that'll give you an idea of just like, hey, how we work on the art and brainstorm ideas within the art department.
Those look pretty sweet, dude.
Oh, and hats off to Nick and Marty are the two in the art department that are really partnering up to make those badges sizzle.
It looks like Matt joined us in chat here, so I want to give Matt a moment if he wants to come say hi. Matt, can you introduce your voice real quick?
Hold on, my mic's not here. Here we go. Yeah, Ron told me I was allowed to come on if I wanted to. So
nice. Matt, we rolled out validators and we put out rank rewards.
Licenses, just to be clear.
Sorry. Yeah, we did the validator node license pre-sale, and we put out rank rewards. Do you want to give us your summary on how you think both the rollout went, and then what your initial thoughts looking at it are, and what you're seeing out there because of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the rollouts, so most of you know I'm the chief product officer now, not the chief technical officer. And I do have my moments, but I'm not actually the best developer. And I think we can really see that now that we've turned things over to this really good team, how much better and more smoothly things have been going. With people who really know how to do this stuff. And I just honestly, I still can't believe every time when we have these new things and there's zero problems. There's not even I feel like we need to start having some purposely have some little problems that happen just so it doesn't seem so perfect. I don't know, because it's a little unnerving, I think. So I've been it's just super exciting how well the development team has been executing. Especially earlier in the year, we had all these new people. They were just all coming on. Everyone was new. We were trying to figure all this out. We had a few releases that didn't go so well. We had to roll back things. It was a bit of a mess. Things weren't getting done, and we had all these people, and things were getting done, more slowly, and it was a little, worrisome. But it just took some time for everyone to kind of figure out how to work all together, and also work with my kind of, messy code base that I put together before all these people got on. But now it's just really, I just can't believe how well things are going, and I can't stress that enough. Hopefully the community and players have been experiencing that as well. And then as far as the actual changes, I think that the licenses or something, once we get the actual software out, that's going to take a little while to start seeing the benefits from over the rest of this year. But the ranked reward changes, I mean, one of the things for me that's always bothered me literally for the last 3.5 years that this game has been live, is that I'm a big gamer, and I got very addicted to games. And I find I don't get as much work done because I just sit there playing games all the time. And I never got that to that level with Splinterlands. I did my daily quests, most of the time. I missed them here or there, and that was kind of it. But I never just felt I just needed to keep playing the same way I might with a Hearthstone or Clash of Clans or Civilization or whatever it is. And I think with the recent changes with how the focuses work and the season rewards and everything, I've all of a sudden felt that I've been much more addicted to the game. I've been playing much more than I think I've ever played. And I'm just like all of you in the sense that I'm just a gamer, and I'm trying to build a game that I want to play. And I think this is just a huge step in that direction. I mean, we definitely, not everything's perfect. We definitely have some things that we're gonna, work to change and fix and make better. But like overall, my anecdotal experience is that me personally as a gamer, I felt more like addicted and wanting to keep playing Splinterlands like, other traditional games I have in the past. So I'm just super excited about that. You can feel it when things are going in the right direction and getting better. You don't even have to look at numbers. You just like get this feeling interacting with the product that it's just much better.
Um, so how have like rewards worked out? What was our objective with making the rank rewards change, and then what is the actual results? What are they looking like?
Yeah, I mean the numbers seem to be generally right on with the objectives. The 100% primary objective was to get rid of the farming of rewards without having to put money into getting cards, buying or renting cards. So it doesn't have to do with bots specifically, although bots generally were able to take advantage of this better. But just the fact that you could earn rewards indefinitely and significant quantities without having to ever buy or rent any cards in the game was just like the number one thing that was broken. So this change has clearly helped that significantly, as like the hundreds of thousands of starter card bot accounts are no longer able to earn rewards, and it's going to take a little while, I think, for everything to shake out with what those accounts ultimately decide to do. But the goal is you need to put money into the card market, either rentals or owning, in order to earn the rewards. And the result of that has been, since all those accounts are now no longer able to earn rewards, that means all the players that have cards are able to earn that much more rewards. So like, and specifically, we've also, our goal is always to reward the higher leagues much more heavily, because we always want to incentivize players to want to get more cards in a single account and level up a single account rather than make thousands of lower level accounts. Like that's always the right way to run an economy. So this change has obviously done that significantly as well. We see, if you just look at the amount of rewards being given out, in most cases it's either stayed the same or actually decreased in total, but players in the higher leagues, specifically like gold on up, like on a per player basis, are earning way more, and that's good, and that just incentivizes everyone across the board rather than make a whole bunch of alt accounts. It's, why don't I get more things in a single account and get it up into gold or higher, and then earn those rewards. So again, it's going to take a few seasons for all this to play out. There are some things, like I know the focuses are not great, just having this a single splinter for a whole day. We're going to release new and more interesting focuses hopefully in the near future, and just generally keep an eye on and play with that. But the goal of this, of pushing accounts into higher leagues and rewarding them for having more cards, is like 100% right on track. So no major issues.
And I guess a couple of weeks ago we talked about what the like absolute best outcome could have been, and that to me was this rank rewards change would simultaneously give out more rewards to the most, like the players with the biggest collections and the best like playing ability, and simultaneously be deflationary overall. Like that was like my far outlier of like, if everything came to pass, we would overall be giving out fewer rewards, but we would also be giving substantially more rewards to like, the champion league players. It sounds like that's what's happening. Did we just hit like, the ultimate objective there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly what we want to happen. And again, like it sound, if you hear it, you might think like, oh, it's just giving more rewards to whales, but that's not how it works. It's really just giving more rewards, really across the board on a percentage basis compared to how much you have, how many the assets you have, and how good. Like really, your win percentage is one of the biggest things now, which is also good for a game where we're trying to focus on skill. So it's not, yes, the whales will get a lot more also, but proportionally, actually a lot of the lower league players are their increase in rewards based on like collection power or things like that has increased more than some of the whale accounts at the high end, just because the rewards had been decreased so much in bronze in particular to deal with the multi-account issues. So it's everyone across the board should be seeing that everyone who owns cards or rents cards should be seeing a significant reward increase on a percentage basis.
So when we first implemented this, now we've seen a decrease in bot play. We've seen some the amount of rentals go down. Do you see that as permanent changes? Do you think that rentals will go back up? Do you think the bots will come back? Like, what are they retooling and figuring it out? What do we've seen some of the automated play get nearly shut down or kind of castrated. What are you hearing, or what do you think the next most likely outcome is for that?
Yeah, as far as I know, I think the bots are definitely, the bot armies are trying to like figure out what the best play is, right? And they're not gonna just rush into something right away. It's they're actually pretty smart and calculating, and they put a lot of money into the game and the ecosystem. So it's gonna take probably again at least a couple seasons for everything to shake out and people to figure out what are the best plays here. And our hope and the design of this whole thing is that the best play is buying or renting cards. So as people start to figure that out, we hope that this initial dip will then lead to an overall increase in card sales and rentals, as people are able to evaluate the profit and the return on investment of doing that.
I mean, that all sounds pretty decent. All right, what's up on the developer roadmap, or what's anything that, like, I guess the next thing that's up is Modern vs. Wild. Is that still correct?
100%. That's also really important too. It goes along with these rank reward changes. Really, in that we want especially guilds. Like, we want guilds to be able to come in. I think guilds are one of the biggest ways we can grow this. And I don't mean like the guilds in the game. I just mean like these general gaming guilds that are raising
like
money.
Play to earn guilds. Yeah.
Play to earn guilds. Yeah. So that's one of the best ways I think we can overall grow this ecosystem and get a lot more money into this ecosystem. And the rank rewards are helpful, as obviously the gaming guilds and their scholars have cards, and so they will be earning more for that, which will encourage more guild participation. But also it is harder to compete against our existing player base that's using alpha and beta and promo cards and all this stuff. So Modern and Wild will be great in order to break that stuff up. So our existing player base who has all those older cards will more likely play in Wild League, and then the guilds and newer players who have the newer cards exclusively will kind of have their own league where they can be much more competitive, and then their earnings will also, as a percentage of the amount that they've put in, will be higher, because their win rate ideally should be a lot higher, as they're not at a disadvantage against the players with the older cards. It'll also increase the rewards even more across the system. We talked about, we're doubling the Dark Energy Crystal reward pool for ranked battle wins. There's going to be the same pool for Modern and the same pool for Wild as there is now, so it'll be double. So it's just overall, it's a part of this whole overall system change that we're doing.
Now, I don't want. I still have like 5 people to go interview, so I don't want to go too much longer. But there is one other important thing that is on my brain: the airdrop. The number of airdrop days. We're down to like 50 more days for airdrop. Like, what do you expect to happen with that? Maybe not necessarily like I know we don't do crystal balls and price predictions, but maybe just fundamentally, what does that mean for us as a token ecosystem and community economy, or anything that you feel like sharing?
I mean, very simple. There's about 1.1 million SPS tokens that are airdropped to the community every day. So that will just stop. July 26th should be the last day. Maybe 25th. I don't remember exactly.
Do you
Yes.
know how many? So it was 1.1 million per day. What's the total that is released per day right now?
You mean across everything?
Yeah. Do you have an estimate?
I have a spreadsheet somewhere. I don't have it up in front of me, but that's the majority. So I think I think there's something like 50 million released a month, and the airdrop is something like 33 million a month. So, and then we are going to have new pools that are going to be released. After the airdrop ends, we were waiting on some of those. So there's going to be a SPS reward pool for ranked battles, SPS reward pool for liquidity providers. Obviously the validator nodes we mentioned in August will go live. So there's other things, but even all of those coming live, together, will not even be close to making up for the amount of the airdrop. I mean, the airdrop's huge. So that's going to end. And then also, we're working on Rift Watchers now. I just started, thinking about the card stats, talking to the design team and Nate about like what we're thinking, how many cards, different rarities, airdrops, all that stuff. And Rift Watchers is all gonna, that's all gonna go to SPS. So if you want those packs, and if you're a player, you're gonna want them because they're gonna be some pretty cool cards with new abilities and things like that. So you're gonna have to spend SPS, and that's all gonna go into the DAO. Where it'll be up to the token holders whether they want to burn it or use it to provide liquidity or whatever, but it's not under any circumstances going to be sold on the market. So we have at the same time the vast majority of new emissions just stopping, plus hopefully a lot of SPS to be spent and taken out of circulation on this exciting new release, all kind of happening at the same time. So I don't know, it's we definitely don't speculate on market pricing or anything like that, but I am very, very excited to kind of see how this all shakes out. And it kind of is crazy to me to see, like, I watch SPS, the price charts and everything. I see what's going on. I noticed there's someone who it looked like purchased some 3 million or so SPS 6 months ago, is now just decided to dump it on the market. People can do whatever they want to do, but it just seems crazy to me to do that, like, at this point in time. But that's just where we are. So we have a super ton of stuff to look forward to from the SPS token in particular within the next couple months.
As long as we're at like it hurts my soul to see SPS prices down. But the thing that makes me happy about it all is that we have like our nodes for sale, right? And like those nodes are a big token burn. So as the price goes down, the number of SPS you have to burn goes up. And so as I keep seeing like the number of nodes tick down, and in this set we're almost 500 nodes deep or so into tranche one here. Like, that's a lot of burning of tokens down at, what I hope is what we'll all in the future consider very low prices for SPS. So, my brain gets kind of excited about that, just seeing like, holy crap, that's a ton of SPS that we just nuked as a community. So that's good times in my brain.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Okay, so those are the things that I have on my list. Anything else that you want to add here, Matt?
I mean, I wasn't even really planning to come on, but I was just listening. So no, I mean, yeah, let everyone get their chance to speak and introduce themselves. And I hope everyone is just as excited as I am. It's not just about the tokenomics, but about the game itself. We're really starting to hit our stride, the team and everything. Like, it's just all coming together. We're releasing new things faster, better. We're fixing some of the issues that have been around for years, and we're just really getting ready for like the next big phase, which could be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, pretty exciting. All right, thanks for coming on, Matt. Glad to have kind of dragged you unwillingly into this, and thanks for your thoughts and updates.
Always willingly.
Awesome. All right. So now I kind of want to go back to Nate a bit and have I got some artists that I want to go bring on, or really a creative team. So I think we're going to start with Alex, and then we'll go do Larry, and then we'll bring in Bert. So Alex, are you there? Are you able to go kind of say hello on the stream here?
Hello, happy to be here.
Hey, Alex.
My name is my name is Alex, and I joined the creative team around December last year, and I mainly do background art.
Now, were you working
yeah.
at all in crypto prior to this, or is it or gaming? Like what is your background been?
Well, I started working in the graphic design around 8 years ago, and worked on illustration for books, mobile games, board games sometimes. And really over the years, especially at the beginning, I think I did almost any kind of graphic design work until I became specialized in fantasy illustration. Crypto was new to me. Actually, I was a fan of Splinterlands before I joined the team.
That's awesome.
So,
how did you find Splinterlands?
Well, my husband was telling me about crypto games, and he started playing Axie Infinity. But I didn't really like the how it looked, the game, and it kind of seemed boring to me. So I decided to find something else for myself. And I don't know, it just popped up in Google. And since I like fantasy, I thought that this looked really interesting.
So what have you been working on?
Yeah.
What would a player have seen, or how does your work sort of like impact the visuals? What would we experience?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So what work have you? What do you work on? Like what would a player have seen that you would have touched in the game?
Oh, well, I mostly work on background art, and a lot of the stuff that I'm creating haven't yet seen the light of day. But in the recent updates,
Well, here, just so you have something to refer to,
yeah.
I'll share something that no one has seen before. That I really, this is for the we want to provide new background art for the focuses, and so she's been working recently on artwork that would be displayed when you click the details. Let's say you're playing death that day, the focus. So we want a nice, beautiful backdrop to basically talk about the death magic. And you as a battle mage, you as a player being a battle mage, what would that look like? So this is something that she did recently, which is pretty cool. It's a battle mage channeling the upcoming astral entity legendary summoner coming later on in the year. There we go. And I thought I love it. It's pretty cool. And then how she ended up working for the team, she would participate in those weekly art contests, I believe. And I think I connected with her and said, "Man, you're freaking awesome. You want to start off doing like maybe some special Splinter Talk NFTs." So she chose her favorite summoners. And you've been, I don't know if for those of you who have been looking at Splinter Talk, there's NFTs that you can purchase not only based on lore stories, but based on she has a very specific Alex specific premium series that we release one now and then. And I don't think we've released this one, but heck, I'm going to share it just because it's cool. Hopefully one of you guys may someday own a Lear Deep Swimmer NFT, and this is the artwork she did for that. So she's Alex is very versatile. She can do all kinds of different styles, and she's a real big asset to the art team. She's doing great.
He looks thinner, younger, and fitter than the card art that we use. I always think of him as sort of like the chubby guy. He's got like that belt, but it also kind of looks like a belly. So, but he looks sharp. That's a good looking dude. All right. So the I don't know what like. So have you worked in gaming companies before?
Mostly, I worked on smaller projects for mobile games. Also, some board games. Yeah, so I think Splinterlands is the first bigger project I'm working on.
Now, excuse my common running joke here, but you sound a little funny. Are you from Oklahoma? Where are you from?
Yeah, so I live in Japan, but I'm originally I'm from Poland.
I mean, one of the things about this company is that we're fully remote, so we hire people everywhere. So, I think what was it? It's like half of the people that work here are actually in the States, the other half are not. And it's something like 40 or 50 countries are represented. So, thanks for working from far away. And I guess what in particular are you excited about? What is there a project that you're working on, or a piece, or something that you're really jazzed about?
I think I'm excited about anything I work on here because since I'm a fan of the game myself, it's really I didn't even imagine that I would be one day working at Splinterlands and doing art for the game myself. So it's really fun to do anything, really. And I'm really excited to see how the visual style of the game is coming to shape and becomes unique to Splinterlands. And really, the team is doing their best to make the art even more consistent and really high quality. So that's really exciting.
Awesome. Thanks for working here. Thanks for building these projects with us, and welcome to the team. And hopefully the community gives you a nice round of applause, and thanks for being here.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
I want to move on to Larry next. Um, Now, Larry and I actually go back quite a long way. Larry's part of a team that works out of Mexico that I hired, I think, back in 2014, like way before even this game was conceptualized. So, Larry, welcome to the team. Welcome to the show. Are you there?
Hi,
Hey, welcome,
do you hear
welcome. How are
me?
things? Yeah, I can hear you great. So,
Great.
Larry, what do you work on mostly when you're doing Splinterland stuff?
I focus mainly on character art. Uh, my thing is more sketching than other stuff, but I really love when I get the chance to apply colors to the final art. It's something I really enjoy.
Yeah, one of the things that surprised me about how we create art here, I just assumed that one artist would go and make every single card, and we did that back in the past, but now it's much more focused than that. You have somebody sketching, somebody doing line art, somebody doing coloring, somebody doing background art. Um, It, I don't know, Nate. Do you have any of the sketches that she's made? And like a lot of these are now actual cards that you guys play with every single day. Do you have I don't know, any specific uh, uh, like pieces of eye candy or piece of art that we want to share of her work in particular?
Yeah, sure. And for those of you guys who, I would say the majority of the cards that you guys play with, those characters, chances are Larry helped to make those characters. Anything past alpha and beta, um, so is probably character art that Larry had a hand in. So more recently, and this will speak to, I guess this is a glimpse into another legendary air summoner, something we tease her with because when we got to working with the players on what they wanted for the legendary summoners, we tried to be as flexible and bend over as backwards as we possibly could to make sure that the players were getting exactly what they envisioned. And Lary was working day in, day out, making sure that the water legendary summoner was being realized to the best that we could possibly bring to life. So here is a sketch that she created for the, Possibilis. And so that is the legendary water summoner. Now, what I have for colors, I had grabbed this like a week or two ago, and since then it's possible there were little minor tweaks, subtle adjustments since then. But this is the artwork I have right now. So this is Lary bringing it to life. So Lary sketched it out. Lary got it colored up, and sometime in the near future, when the airdrop happens, you guys will get a chance to own that legendary summoner, which is probably, I think it's the third non-humanoid summoner in the game, because we got Byzantine Kitty, it's a cat, and we got the llama, right? But for sheer size and scope, this is definitely going to be, I guess, the biggest summoner in the game to date. So there you go.
That's beautiful, badass, Lary. I mean, I'm telling you, like our game has been the recipient of so much like beautiful work because of the creative team generally, but yeah, Lary specifically. I mean, Lary, do you have a sense of how many cards you've sketched for Splinterlands?
I think there have to be more than 80. Yes, more than 80.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, we've been working with this team almost since the beginning, and then they've what I really think happened is I was like, this is how they should look, and Nate's like, I think maybe there's some improvements that can be made, and I'm like, fine, I'll get out of the way, and then everything started looking a lot better. So Nate taking some initiative around what the look and feel ought to be, and then Lary and the team of people that she works with, they've really been able to go put these cards together that look, I think they're stunning. Like you go look at our alpha set, there's I'm proud of the alphas. We started with nothing. But it's certainly looking just so much sharper and nicer. And how like what part of this are you digging the most? Like for doing the art, is it thinking of the new characters? Is it fine tuning the ones that you put in? Is it seeing them in production and actually being played and bought and sold? Like what parts of this is like the coolest feeling for you in particular?
I think I can think of two parts of the process. That is sketching them, because one thing is reading like the description, and other thing is like putting putting the visuals out there. But I really have a I feel really happy when I see them out in the game. I think that's one of the most rewarding experiences of working here.
Now, when you make these cards and you're building these sketches, like what do you try to bring into these pictures? Like, is there a common set of goals or attributes or look or feel, or like when you get some description, that description is something like, we need a magical cat battling an octopus, right? So like, from there, how do you start thinking about how to draw these, or what you're trying to convey?
I think the first thing I try to flesh out is what's the personality, if there is any, of the characters involved. Because like Byzantine Kitty, we have such a cute feeling, or if it should look like aggressive or something. Second, what kind of magic is the kitty using? I think, yeah, exactly what exactly are they doing? How the battle will go I'm sorry. Like how the battle will keep going? What kind of attacks the octopus would do? That's some things I try to imagine a little bit of the fight in my head to get like a good angle of the characters. What would look cool? Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I guess is there anything that you're like really looking forward to, or some piece that you're especially proud of, or anything that you kind of want to leave us with, and thinking about your contributions to the game?
I think Possibilus is one of my favorite cards right now, or well, illustrations, because it had a lot of changes, but I feel really proud of the result right now, and I hope the players will enjoy it too.
She's being modest. I would think her favorite character in the game is herself. For those of you who don't know, she's in the game. She's a gladiator for the Brawls rewards.
Nice.
All right. Yes, I remember that. I felt really, really touched with that.
Which card did you mention was your favorite? Can you put it into chat?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'd have to look for Possibilus art, but
Oh, I posted it, Possibilus. So it's the last one. The legendary summoner. She yeah, that we already posted it.
That's the name of the water one.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Awesome. Yeah, he's looking great. I was wondering if there was one of the cards that was in circulation already that she was most excited about, but this is all fine. So, anyways, Larry, it's we're coming up on a decade. We've been doing business together. So I appreciate your work. I appreciate your time. I'm glad that you and the team chose to work here and do this full time. And you guys are great, and we benefit all the time from your work. And thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for being so creative, and thanks for bringing these characters to life for so many of us. We're glad you're here.
Thank you a lot. You guys are very warm and welcoming, so it's a pleasure to work with you.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna bring in Bert. Bert he does sounds and sound engineering. He has a little sound engineer near him of the infant category. So we'll see if this is an acceptable time. But Bert, are you there? Did we lose him? BlauDisS? Yeah, he's probably he had a baby at the time, so he was it was like, why don't you guys come on air? And he's like, great, by the way, I'm taking care of my infant today. So that one might not work out. We'll see how that goes. All right, we have a couple other people that I want to oh no, I can he's like he's waving to me in one of the other programs, so I can see him there. Maybe there's just some sound effect problems. We'll come back. Don't worry, bud. You're it's not in vain.
Is he in the? Does he have to be on stage or anything?
I think
okay. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, there we go. Hey, welcome back. I
all right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do you do around here? Who are you? Tell us a quick background.
Yeah, so I'm a music producer. That's my background. I'm like a lifelong musician, so I've been playing instruments for 20 plus years, producing music seriously for about a decade now. I do sound design for Splinterlands. Essentially, wearing a lot of different hats, like sound effects, promotional videos, music for the game. So essentially bringing audio into the game a bit more and being a part
What
of that
city are
team.
you from?
I'm in Washington, D.C., U.S.
Okay. Have you always been from there?
I grew up in upstate New York, but I've lived here for like 20 years. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you were like kind of Nashville or Austin or just it's one of those it's like one of those cities where you're like, I'm from Austin. And it's like, oh neat, what instrument do you play? You know, it's but no, apparently where did the like love and passion for music come from? Was it always there or cultivated or what?
Yeah, so my mom was a professional musician, so music has always been near and dear to me. So it's always, if not the focus of my life, then pretty near the top of the focus of my life. So, I'm always trying to learn stuff about music. Like I have probably a collection of like 100 instruments at home that I've just collected over the years. Like people have given me stuff. I've collected a bunch of different things. So able to draw upon a lot of different experience and sounds for Splinterlands.
Is there one in particular that you think players would recognize more than others, or something that is like built in game, or something that you're super proud of? Like what whenever there are people that come on, I really try to connect the work that they do to the player experience because that's ultimately all of this is for the benefit of the player. So like what have you created that if I'm sitting around gaming, what would I experience or what would I see?
So a lot of the in-game stuff hasn't been implemented yet. I've done audio for the lore videos, so most of the lore videos have custom backing music behind them, and also we're forming like audio motifs for Splinterlands. So different characters have different like chord structures that we're using that we're carrying through, and just doing a lot of that stuff. For the stuff that's implemented in the game, it hasn't been brought live yet, so I can't speak too much to that. But I think in the coming months or quarters, players will start to hear a lot more sounds in the actual user interface. So like when you click different buttons or different characters, or just writing some of the music in the actual interface as well. So that stuff's coming soon. So
Does that include quips? I've wanted quips and taunts in this game forever. You know, it's like I've been waiting for like Kiara and Talia to be like, "Oh, you did great if you were trying to lose," or something like that. You know, like
yeah, I think I'll let Nate speak to the future of quips, but there I can tell you that we're doing a lot of recording related to cards. So that's what I
Yeah,
can tell
I mean, in case Bird is a little apprehensive about sharing secrets, yeah, it's fine. Basically what we're working on, Aggie, is as you select the characters, um, we want to make it so that imagine all your characters are sitting on a bench, getting ready to go in the game. Send me in, coach. Send me in. So you go ahead and click on the card to add it to your team, and they're like, "Yeah, to war!" or they're shouting out some kind of like cool quip to say, "Yeah, thanks for choosing me, boss. I'll do you good." So what's funny is we have our voice actors currently working on some quips. And that's just for the team creation stage. We haven't even gotten into the battlefield yet. Um, and what BlauDisS is working on is we said, okay, well, we got a male voice actor and female voice actor working on those, but there's so many it characters, like a glob that goes blah, 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 or like I think the last thing I heard from Bert was he was doing the fire golem, and he was doing the lava spider or whatever that was in the Chaos Legion, and so he has all these little animalistic sounds like chittering and webs spraying and sizzle of embers and things like that, and very impressive. It's going to be really cool. Something else that I'm really excited to give to the devs as soon as we have the file sizes optimized, which I think they might be, is when you go to create your team on the team building stage, we're trying to think of ways to not just visually, but in an audio sense through hearing, know when your timer is getting low, so that you don't have to keep looking up in the corner and saying, how much time do I got? So, some of you guys have noticed that there's a little progress bar now. That was Roy's idea to kind of like help give that visual cue. But in an audio sense, what if you can hear while you're choosing your team, identify how much time you have just by basing it on what you're hearing. And so Bert has created this cool music to play in the background that starts off nice and adventurous, and then as the music goes on, it gets more and more urgent, and you can tell through the beat and how fast it's playing and the intensity of it, how close you are to running out of time, so that you don't have to keep looking up at that timer all the
So
time.
it's like a little bit like Jeopardy, right? Like Alex Trebek
Yeah.
is like, all right, let's start the main
Exactly like
thing, and then like I'm a little teapot plays or whatever that song is, and you get to the end, and you're like, all right, well, everybody show us your answers. Like now it's kind of like a set sound system where we all know, how long until the battle and the blood happens.
And yeah, another cool thing that I'm not aware of another game that does this, but we're trying to connect the sounds on the pages to the actual music. So in that character creation page, like the actual sounds that you're going to click through are actually in the song. So it's like you're kind of going to be partially composing the music when you're like clicking through the different stuff, because the sounds will all make sense within the actual track because they're going to be included in both of those. So there's some cool audio stuff that we're prepping for the site.
Yeah, you had me at like we're doing different chord progressions for the different characters. Were you involved with the Jared Scar video at all? Is that part of your baby?
I worked a bit on it, but that mostly can be attributed to Zane and Isaria. But I did work on it a bit. But I'll be working on stuff like that more in the future.
All right, those kinds of I've been bugging Nate forever. Give me short 1 minute videos or 1 to 3 minute videos on who these characters are, and I saw that and I'm like, oh, F yeah, we're finally there. We're finally kind of making some of this content where I just feel like those are the kinds of things that we can talk about these characters all day, but until you can kind of like visualize them, see them, move them, and tell some stories with them. I mean, I think this is the stuff that like a normie could get their hands on, want to learn more, and then get engrossed in this game. And it's kind of like, to me, it's like content marketing or something. Like, our marketing budget should be, character stories and making content that's infinitely viewable. In some ways, it feels like we're past the time where you could just be like, here's the next Google ad, play this game, play this game. I know it still happens, but if it's like watch these cool ass characters, fall in love with them, that's how I feel like we'll drag in more people than
Yeah, so the amount of depth I think is really impressive, and we just keep getting deeper and deeper with, broadening the creative team in terms of the lore, in terms of the music, in terms of the stories behind everything and the connections. And I really love like being a part of that bigger story and that bigger picture, because it's become so much more than a game for sure. And with Nate and everybody else on the team, it's getting a lot deeper as well. And there's so much cool stuff that you guys are going to see coming out soon.
Yeah, the more we get that out, the better. I'm stoked. All right, anything you want to leave us with? Any kind of like anecdote, story, or piece, or something that has really like been fun or exciting, or that you just the thoughts you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I've loved the game. I got into crypto last fall, and like Splinterlands was one of my first stops, and I just kept coming back to it and coming back to it. And most other crypto things I've gone into in games have fallen by the wayside, but I kept coming back to Splinterlands. I think there's something really powerful about this team and the motivation and what you're building, and I'm really, really excited to be on for the ride.
Sweet. All right. Well, awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for working on this, and awesome to meet you. All right, we're going to go to Starlight next. So, Starlight, this is a little bit of a segue completely from the creative world over to sort of the corporate world. We operate a business. The Splinterlands is operating a C corp that's an American company, and so we have human resources in here. Do you want to kind of introduce yourself and just talk about some of what you do?
Hi. Yeah, so my name's Sarah. I've been here a couple months now, and I'm a senior HR generalist here at Splinterlands. So I feel like our value in HR is to kind of keep all the boring stuff off of the creatives so they can make everything awesome.
So, like, we're a Web 3.0 game, and we're this remote company, and it's all everybody everywhere. Like, is that easy to manage? Do you have you worked with remote companies before? Like, how does it compare to sort of set up a system here compared to other places?
I've worked in partially remote environments. This is my first fully remote environment. So I think it is a bit more difficult sometimes. But I think we're starting to figure it out. Getting the connections, I think, is the hardest part. Meeting people is a little harder because you don't encounter them in the hallway or whatever. But I feel like it's an exciting adventure to figure out how to get everybody on board and make sure everybody understands what's happening and how to reach us when they need something.
So what do you think are your biggest challenges? Like, are we a bunch of yahoos that have no idea what we're doing, and we're a bunch of like crypto anarchists that are constantly stepping on our own toes? Do we feel like we have our stuff together? Like, like compared to some of the other companies you work for, like how together are we as an organization?
I mean, I come from a healthcare background. That's where I ventured from. So this is definitely a lot different, but I feel like most things are pretty together. It's just kind of getting like the systems and the process in place to help it flow accurately.
And then did you do any gaming prior to this?
I mean, compared to you all, I consider myself like a baby gamer. So I do venture some, but it's in like Stardew Valley and things like that. I'm learning Splinterlands, but I need some more tutorials.
What made you want to work here? What made you say, well, I've had enough of healthcare, let's go try these yahoos in Web3 gaming?
Healthcare is kind of soul crushing, especially the last few years. And I was looking for somewhere to be more creative and work in a better environment. So I'm really lucky to have stumbled into this and been chosen. I'm really grateful to be here and get to learn and grow along with everybody.
Do you think like in terms of culture and team and stuff like that, how do you feel about the folks we've got put together? Like what kind of strengths do we have? What weaknesses do we have to overcome?
I think so far it's a really cohesive group. So like I said, I've been here a couple of months, and even from when I started till now, kind of echoing what you guys have said earlier on, it just feels like everything is starting to click. Things are getting into place. I think we're finding really great talent, and I think we're going to keep finding really great talent. And I think that's part of what HR is here for too, so we can help find those pipelines and make sure that we're competitive, in benefit offerings, salary, and things like that.
Um, All right. Anything that you kind of want to leave us with, or like any major thing that the players like? I guess I want to tie this back to the players first before I sign off. So why don't we do this? Tell me, like, if you've done your job really well and things are working in the ideal way, how does a player experience something like back office HR? It's not part of the interface, but how do you think a player experiences that? Like if your gig goes well, you're killing it.
I think it's kind of tough to say, but I think it really is in keeping the administrative and those really truly boring things that the developers and the artists and everybody, they don't need to deal with, so they can really focus on game improvements, and making it the best experience for the player. We are a really background group. That's kind of where we live.
I would echo that. I often think to myself that my goal with this game is to spread peace, prosperity, and freedom. And the way that we do that is that it is inherent in crypto. It's not just inherent to Splinterlands, but inherent to crypto. So the more people that we get doing like using this game or using crypto, the more peace, prosperity, and freedom I think that our civilization will experience. And I try to keep that in mind personally when I'm like, it's 11 p.m. Like my kids have been screaming or possibly vomiting on me. Like everybody's tired. I'm cranky, and I have one more stupid email to write. And I try to keep that like good attitude of something like, I'm not just writing this email to get, slightly more money or raise this thing or do the whatever. It really is, to me, mission based of, I want to spread as much peace, prosperity, and freedom for, every minute that I'm working. And so, all of what you're saying, it's a mentality that I hope gets echoed of, like, any individual marketing email, any individual, piece of art, any individual sound or something may not always feel that significant, but when taken into the whole orchestra of what we're doing, each one of those components helps us build this game, which helps give opportunity to people all over this world, from the smallest minnow to the biggest whale, and to bring as many new friends and family into crypto as we can. And hopefully that remains a rewarding endeavor. So I'm some of that is I think I picked up some of that on what you're saying, and I'm glad that you're here and helping to promote that, and seeing, the back end corporate role doesn't just have to be this clock it in kind of job, do my HR emails, and discipline Rondon again for whatever statement he's making today. But it's really about, improving the world, and making this place is, the best. Like my mother said, leave this world a better place than you can find it. So let's all do that collectively with whatever little task or piece of this thing that we've been given. So thank you for your work.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. I think we have one more folk here. We got Noda, and he's going by Nodes 101, and he's our head of security. So Noda, do you want to kind of chime in with who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, thank you. Great to be here. I'm the head of security, Nodes 101 in the game. Been here for a few weeks now, and primarily my role is to help to start to build the security team and to mature our security processes and protect this company, game, and community as much as we can as we continue to grow.
That sounds like the easiest job in the company. And it's not like we have threats every single day coming from crypto black hat hackers. Like, geez, that's a lot of responsibility to wear. Like, how do you go about your day? What are you prioritizing? And what risks do you think are the biggest that, we're always trying to mitigate or minimize?
Well, you mentioned the biggest ones is, we are in the crypto space and the gaming space. So you put those two things together. There's a lot of black hat actors out there. And we've been doing a lot of really good work on the security side. And I think where my focus is right now is, like I said, is number one is starting to build out a team, but number two is to build out our maturity and consistency in our security work so that we're a bit more proactive. We know where our risks are, we understand them, and we start to actively mitigate them before they actually become, full-blown incidents or concerns. So I'd like to get us to that space. It's kind of the transition of being, as you mentioned before, a startup with a few people working and putting things together and hope that it works and putting out fires, to being a mature organization. And I think we have a big obligation to this community to do that as well as we can.
Yeah, I mean, hacks here are massively consequential, right? Like, Axie gets hacked and it's $600 million gone in a day. Like that's real. That's real money. That's not lunch money. That's like, community shattering amounts of money. So
Absolutely.
So we have some priorities. Like, what can we do about them? Is this policy writing and sort of, corporate policies? Is it code that gets implemented? Like, what are the kind of different ways that we can implement, security into the way that we operate as a business and a software platform?
So a bit of all the above, really. Policy writing and coming up with our own procedures and controls in our development, in our systems and our processes is definitely one of the ways that we could start to enact that maturity. The other one is through the community as well. We've gotten a lot of support from the community, and it's a vibrant community, and everybody is kind of pulling in the same direction. So I think that helps us as well. We want to make sure that everybody in the organization is risk aware in everything that we do. So all our new releases, all of our work with our various partners and third-party sites that are working with us, they're all looking at things from a holistic risk perspective, whether, from cybersecurity, infosec, controls. All of that needs to be on the forefront of our minds as we kind of move this forward and build out the vision that we have.
Sweet. So this is another one of the negative space kind of questions, but where, like, if players were to experience what you've done, like, how would they experience, or what wouldn't they experience because your work has been successful here?
Yeah, ideally, you never know that myself and my team are in place at all. We just are lurking in the background, watching, setting up, our own controls and our monitoring, and working with the devs to make sure that what they're putting in place is appropriate. I look at it from a couple of different perspectives. I think I mentioned we have, from the company itself, from the game as well, and then for the community as well, right? We're looking at all those things concurrently. And hopefully people only experience minor little blips, or they don't even experience anything at all, and everything runs smooth, and we all have a great time playing this great game. I kind of came into this as a gamer first, and then we can go, just enjoy ourselves, not have to worry about all that, the background noise and the attempts and all that. Just know that somebody's in the back end watching all of that.
Do you feel like there's any fires that are currently here? Is there anything that's got your skin kind of crawling or on alert? We don't have to go into it because we don't necessarily need to say what it is, but if there is, do you have?
I was just going to plead the fifth there. So,
okay.
I would say there's always some minor fires. There's nothing that's kept me up at night just yet. It's all a matter of, okay, we need to work on that. This can be done better. And we're starting to identify more of those as we go through, and as I said, start to add some maturity into those processes and some reviews, and make sure that we keep on top of them as they go, and as we discover them.
And this stuff comes in so many different formats, right? Like it's people trying to infiltrate your organization. Some of it's low level Nigerian scammers, some of it's like really high level, sophisticated, coordinated DDoS attacks, and there's like an infinite array of choices of how people try to attack and screw us all the time.
Absolutely.
It's sort of miraculous how far and how long we've gotten without like any real major security incident. The closest we had was like a short-lived Discord hack. But even that was caught quickly, stifled quickly. We lost some math chat history, but generally speaking, we've been pretty safe and secure. What is the number one thing to maintain that? Is it vigilance, or is there another thing to put onto that radar?
It is vigilance. It is also investigation on our side. We need to find out where those opportunities, for exposure are before, those potential black hats do. So we're starting to do even more investigation and understanding of our environment. As you mentioned, Discord is one of those areas that we're looking into to make sure that they maintain. It's a very important tool for our community, so we know that, and we want to make sure that we can confidently say we have it under control. But like I said, it's just a matter of becoming more proactive and understanding where there might be potential incidents, that we have to make sure that they're remediated in a timely manner.
Sweet.
Can I mention something about security, like it's just a high level?
Yeah, do the thing.
I think it's really important for everyone here to understand. There's kind of two sides of security when it comes to this stuff. There's like our company security and security of smart contracts and all that stuff, and like major hacks to the whole system, which is what Nota has been talking about and is that the main focus. But there's a whole other side of security, which is just how can we set up a system that allows our players to be secure themselves. And currently, with pretty much every blockchain project that I've seen or participated in, if players lose their keys or if their keys get hacked, they lose everything, and there's nothing that the company can do about it. And that's what that's par for the course for most of these things. But that just doesn't work really. I mean, it only works now and because it's just a very small little niche thing. But as this field grows, as these games try to be bigger, like that's just a non-starter for most people. Like you just can't have the vast majority of people, even crypto people, like have that be the situation where they make one mistake, their keys get hacked, and they everything they put into the game is just gone. And that's one of the things where I think Splinterlands has actually the best solution to that I've seen any project in the crypto space do, and that comes from the features available on the Hive blockchain, and was one of the main reasons that we chose the Hive blockchain and that we're still staying with the Hive blockchain. Just for example, and we have a lot of work to do to still make this more of the default for everybody and educate users, for example, and you can stake SPS. So if you have SPS staked and you have your cards locked, then even if someone hacks all of your keys and gets all of your keys and changes them and they completely take over your account, you can even receive notifications that your SPS started being unstaked or that your cards started being unlocked. And then you can use the Hive account recovery system to actually recover your account, change your keys back to something new, kick the hacker out, and then stop the unlocking or unstaking process before any of your assets get stolen. So, it's a way where we can allow players to have their own keys and be responsible and own their own assets, but actually still be 100% protected even from a complete hack. And obviously we need to add the ability to lock all of the assets in the game. We need to make that in some cases like a default feature that you have to specifically turn off if you don't want to use it, and just educate people to make sure everyone is protected. But these are things that we're working on, and these are part of the reasons why I really feel like Splinterlands can be one of the first real mainstream blockchain-based games, because we have such a big focus on these type of things, which almost none of the other games that I've seen have as good as we do. And it's one of the things, like we don't talk about it a lot, but it's one of the things in the back of my mind that I'm like really excited about, because that's how we're really going to make this big. That's how we're really going to get the millions and millions of non-crypto gamers eventually involved, is to have these features, have them built out, and have them working before anyone else does.
No, I completely agree, and I hope I was clear that I do see the security side of this in kind of three formats, as you mentioned. The one is the company itself and protecting the company. The other is the game separately, and the third is the community and the players themselves. And I agree with everything you said, Matt, on the Hive blockchain. In fact, I actually helped editing and writing some articles to help people understand the security of their various keys just last week, and hopefully they'll be going out soon on how people should be managing their own accounts and what they are. So I think you're right. It's going to be a big benefit to us to make sure that when people do start playing, and this does spread out to, as you mentioned, the non-crypto people, that they're comfortable and understand that they are secure and what those security features are. And I think it's on us also to help communicate and educate them on that, to make sure that they understand all of those features and what they should be doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you're fully aware of these things, and I really just wanted to highlight, because I realized we've never talked about this, as far as I know, in a town hall. And so for everyone here listening, like, that's just important to understand if you're trying to think about like which projects might be the real future of blockchain gaming, which projects might have the best shot of getting big mainstream audiences and mainstream, money into the game. Like this is what we think about. We think about long term and these things, and this is to me like one of the biggest things that we need. And what's still to this day very surprising to me is that like I don't see any other projects who even give a second thought to this stuff.
Not even close. Yeah. Nothing that's crossed on my radar makes me think like, oh, they get it. But I think Splinterlands is unique just in terms of like how many actual humans and accounts are playing this game and interacting with this thing that we've really had to go deal with like huge numbers of people. All right, Noda, any last thought that you want to impart before I move on to the sort of not intermission, but in between now and the questions? Any last little piece here?
No, I'm good. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and just kind of spread awareness and just remind everybody Splinterlands will never DM you directly and make any offers or any crypto. Just our usual spiel. Everybody protect yourselves out there, and we'll do our best to help protect you and the game as well.
Rock on. All right. Thanks, Noda. Thanks for your work and thanks for being here. All right, two more little things, and then we'll get into questions. I want to do Splinterlands TV, and we also released a 1-minute promo video. I called out Jared Scar, but I actually want to play it on air here. So, Ron, if you could take it away for Splinterlands TV, and you could take it away for Jared Scar, that would be great.
All right, which one do you want first?
I guess Jared Scar. Let's do that.
All right, let's do a little Jared Scar then. So you guys here in Discord are only going to be able to hear this, but everybody out there watching over on YouTube or on Twitch or on Twitter will be able to see this. Well, I say that, and then it doesn't work.
Oh, man.
Let's get that fixed. Here we go.
The story begins with a forbidden love between a Nulund and a vampire. An abandoned child raised by the arena who would inherit an empire. Once chaos came, the brawls had to change. A new format to raise the bar. So a modern take on the glorious games brought to you by Jared Scar. Yes, a modern take on the glorious games brought to you by Jared Scar.
Leave the rest to me.
Yeah, that thing makes me very happy. So, kudos to Nate, kudos to the creative team. Really, really excited to see that and see the kind of like.
Can you hear me all right?
Animated direction. Hey, there's I think I hear a Diggy. All right, and then so Ron, do you want to go do the Splinterlands TV bit?
Yeah. So this week we've got some really cool stuff going on, guys. Listen, I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Splinterlands TV yet. I want to encourage everybody. We are almost about to cross the 1,000 subscriber threshold. So if you're not subscribed, please, if you like Splinterlands content, if you want to see, just a wide range of everything from how-tos of low leagues to extremely in-depth spreadsheets with Neil McSpadden and everything in between. We have whatever you want on Splinterlands TV. But we are also doing a few different contests. We're doing some great contests this week. We are, oh man, I had this already. We are having Trash Dragon, Luke Plays to Earn, and Ape of Wall Street will all be giving away packs during their times this week. So that is called our Streamer Spotlight. And we give them a bunch of packs to give away to the audience. And yeah, they're all going to be giving away packs. Trash Dragon, he's going to be tonight here in just a few hours, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time or 9 to 11 p.m. UTC. We have Ape of Wall Street again tonight. He's 11 to 1 a.m. Eastern Time or 3 to 5 a.m. UTC. And Luke will be on tomorrow, and you guys can check splinterlands.tv for the schedule in your time. But besides that, we also do another little contest, and I'm really excited about this contest, guys. This one is Clip of the Week. Clip of the Week is where we have the community, you guys. All you got to do is watch some Splinterlands content on Splinterlands TV. If you see something cool you like, you clip it. You take that link and you share it into the Splinterlands TV Discord. And when you do that with your in-game name, we go through all of those and we pick out the winner. And the winner this week won 3 packs along with the streamer. And you know what? This one right here is pretty relatable. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes the RNG of Splinterlands really gets to me. But you know what? This is a peek on the other side of the RNG because I'm always the guy that misses. I'm always the guy that gets screwed out of this. But Trash Dragon this week, he happened to be on the winning side of the RNG. And, you know, I don't know if you guys know what that looks like. I got to find out with this clip, but let's check it out real quick.
Earthquake got him. I know, Suitcase. It happens to me all the time. They're just gonna miss until Earthquake kills everything. Just oh my god! Look at all these misses! It's too good! Just everything misses until Earthquake.
So, one guy. Yeah, one guy versus the entire team, and he couldn't hit him. Oh, so yeah.
You had one job. One job was to hit him.
But that's how it goes sometimes in Splinterlands. I think everybody here is painfully aware of that fact. But yes, guys, it's super easy to win. And you know what? Even this week, we did something special. We gave everybody who submitted a clip 20 DEC, or 20 SPS, I'm sorry. So yeah, you know, we might do some like little stuff like that. You know, it just depends. That's not guaranteed, but you know what? Submit your clips, see what happens, and you might win some cool stuff.
Rock on. All right, thanks, Ron. Thanks for putting those together, and congrats to the stream team getting up to 1,000. You know, it's like the first 1,000 is the hardest. So the as we keep growing, you know, we've made it through what should be the hardest, slowest slog out of all of it. And you know, I look forward to that stream constantly growing. So kudos. All right, so now I want to go into the next stage of this. I'm a little bit over where I planned, but you know, hopefully some good conversation was worth it. If you guys could pop open the set of questions. So here, what I have, this is a validator nodes. So this is the second part of the show, which is really like we don't like scrub these questions. We just kind of like clean them up a little bit. But this is what was left over. Validator nodes. It was mentioned that some large investors were interested in $1 million purchases. Have any of the large buys like this gone through yet? We've seen, you know, somebody's got over 170 of these things. And they've been part of this ecosystem for a while, but that's a big chunk of money. There are still some guilds that we're talking to that are trying to figure this out, but I wouldn't say that the vast majority of buys have gone through yet. What feedback did you receive that led to starting rewards early? Many players made investment decisions based on info that the rewards would not start early and that they had more time to acquire at lower prices. Matt, any feedback of why we started at least the voucher rewards early?
Oh, I mean, well, just in general, that's the thing about pre-sales of things, and before, you know, we kind of always say, I think, before buying something before things are live, is that, you know, there are unknowns, and things can change, and that's part of buying early. You know, but still there's plenty of opportunity to buy for phase 1. And, you know, the feedback was generally that, you know, there was a lot too much uncertainty around when the rewards were going to start. And if it wasn't going to be till late Q4, that was too long for people to potentially come into the project, with larger buys, from outside the ecosystem. So ultimately, like, our goal, the pre-sale was great. And it went very well, but that was mostly our existing community members using SPS and vouchers that for the most part they already had, right? And that's why we didn't see the huge jump in third-party market prices of tokens and things like that. So the real goal here is to have this bring in investment from outside of our existing community and our existing player base. I mean, that's ultimately how we really grow this thing. So that's our overall goal, kind of with everything, is to try to get new people and new investment into the ecosystem through all the different things that we're doing, and that's what led to the decision to help that, to start rewards earlier than originally planned to help that. And I think generally the vast majority of even existing players in our ecosystem seem to be happy with that decision also, as they're the ones who have the majority of the node licenses right now.
Sweet. Okay, rewards update. When will the reward system be compatible with the app?
Very soon, as soon as possible. I mean, they're working on that as the highest priority. That was definitely a miss that wasn't ready. So hopefully within the next couple weeks at most.
What data are you seeing on the amount of bots and starter card accounts playing now versus before the ghost card update?
I mean, I don't have numbers in front of me, but you can kind of see on like the Peak Monsters dashboard. I mean, pretty much the drop in daily active accounts is all those starter card accounts.
Yeah, we busted a lot of them. All right, how much data are you wanting to see before making adjustment additions to the new reward system? It's kind of killing it. Are we planning a lot of changes?
I mean, there's definitely going to be some adjustments here and there, but definitely nothing like major before even one season is finished. It's gonna also take people more than a single season to sort of adjust and figure out what the best way, I don't want to say to exploit the system, but to min-max their earnings. So it's going to take a little bit before we see if there are any like exploits or things that we didn't consider to come out. So it's going to be sort of a never-ending and ongoing thing of just reviewing what's going on and making adjustments where it seems necessary.
What plans are there for expanding past single splinter focuses?
There are plans for that in the very near future. That's not something we want to wait and see anything about. It's something we definitely want. It wasn't able to get in for the initial release, but we're going to have some pretty soon.
Why does the daily focus earn rewards for chests based on the highest league last season and not the current league?
Oh yeah. So why is it not the league at the current league right now? That gets really complicated, right? Then we have to if your current league, like if you're in silver and you're earning some chests, and then you go up into gold, and then you start earning gold chests, and like so we initially kind of had it that way, and just keeping that organized and being able to display like what you've gotten and what kind of chests and how many, and the the reward shares needed for everything. It got very complicated. So that's why we ended up, whenever things get like overly complicated, to me that means it's not the right way to do it. So that's why we ended up going with the highest league achieved in the previous season. And I know there's a lot of people right now that like got into a pretty high league last season, and now they're in lower leagues, and it's difficult to earn chests. But again, like that's just a one-time thing where we have this switch from the old reward system to new. So hopefully in the future, like from this season to next season and onward, that type of issue won't be as big. But again, that's one of the things we're going to look at to see if there's need for adjustment.
What are your thoughts on the rental market crashing and card prices declining after the update?
I think that's kind of an expected thing. There's like a big flush out of the system, right? A big change, and it's going to take a little bit for everything to adjust, and so we kind of expected a big drop in things, and then hopefully it'll keep increasing and eventually surpass what we had previously.
Yeah, I mean, like active rentals went down to almost nothing, and now they're back up to nearly 1 million per day. So that's healthy. The card market prices have actually recently they've been going back up, which is the first time that I've seen that for 6 months. And it does look like they took a tiny dip, but you know, generally this is looking, like whenever we release editions, there's some amount of this that prices go down. This is a little steeper than what I imagined would happen, and I think Bitcoin going from 70,000 to 25,000 had something to do with that. But I don't know. We're still cruising, right? Like I showed a graph the last time that showed that Splinterlands is the Chaos Legion edition is looking to sell out 177 days faster than we did with Untamed. And that was after we 10x supply, doubled the price, and cut CP in half. I mean, in my brain, even with all the kind of things that are going on, we're still kind of killing it. So yeah, there are parts that I think Matt's recalibrating is right. Bots aren't gonna. Like this is the love-hate thing with bots. If we want them renting the cards and we want them participating, but we don't want them exploiting. And I think this map and plan seems to be the best shot of us getting there.
One thing is, if people are wondering what I've been doing during this call while I haven't been talking, I've been buying up max gold foil versions of all the Chaos Legion reward cards that are reasonably priced right now. And that's just because, as I mentioned earlier, I've been much more incentivized to keep just playing a lot more. And now gold cards are a lot more important for that. So I was like, well, I just want all the max level gold cards that I can get reasonably. And again, this is not me as one of the creators of the game. This is me as just a player. Like, this is what I would do if I was just playing this game and had no relation to the company or anything like that. So, again, it's like I can just feel like where the things are going in the right direction. And just because it's been like less than a week now, and not everything's perfect yet, you gotta give kind of major changes time to, I don't know, to shuffle, work themselves out. But I generally feel like the incentive structure is all correct to really grow this thing.
All right, miscellaneous. This is a little bit geared towards marketing. So Liam, is there any update on the marketing deal with the athlete?
Yeah, so there was unfortunately a little bit of bad press that happened with that athlete. So negotiations fell through at that phase. We are looking at new partners and new champions for the promo cards. So more news to come in the next hopefully few weeks here.
All right. Can we get details on the liquidity pool rewards that are going to be coming up fairly soon? Matt? LP rewards?
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the details yet, but we're going to try to get that out to everyone as soon as we can. I mean, it involves new like smart contracts on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain and, a bunch of stuff. So
do you have a thought on timeline? Is that Q4 of this year?
Well, no, I definitely want it to be before that. Hopefully by the time the airdrop's done or shortly thereafter at the latest. There was a good question about like liquidity for dark energy crystal pools specifically after the airdrop's done, because a lot of the liquidity is there in order to get the airdrop. So, at the very least, Splinterlands can provide a good bit of liquidity, for some period of time when the airdrop's ending if the other LP rewards aren't ready. But it's an important thing to get out as part of the airdrop ending stuff that we need to do.
All right. Is there an update on when Modern and Wild will go live?
I don't have an update right now. Cryptomancer was away on vacation and just got back, and now he's back on and making it all work with the ranked reward changes. But I mean, hopefully not too long, because it's, like I said, very important.
And there's no more rank rewards like game breaking changes, right? Like there might be some adjustments here and there, but this thing used to be over like 900 like different updates or something. Now it should be a lot smaller so that he doesn't have to keep reworking that entire code base, right?
Is the idea.
Okay. Suggestions. Well, there is feedback.splinterlands.com, but let's go through these. Can you have the next focus automatically start so we don't waste focus periods.
Yeah, talk about having the even if it takes you a while to claim your reward, like the focuses would go from the same time to the same time for each player every day. So you don't lose timeout for that. So that's something we're looking at changing. But we have to deal with all the weird situations, like what if you wait over 24 hours to claim, and what if you claim like right before the next one would end. So there's just a lot of little stuff we have to go through to do. But I agree that that's something we're looking at.
Can you remove or add modifiers to potions and common cards for higher league chests? I understand the better rare pulls skew the averages in favor of higher leagues, but it's frustrating to see bronze silver league players pulling better rewards so frequently. I don't think we're going to remove them.
Yeah, I mean, the higher league chests are earning way better stuff on average, and obviously when bronze and silver league players get something really good in their chest, they're going to post it, and they're not going to post when they get crap usually. So I think there's a little, I don't know what bias that is, but one of those biases where you only see the really good things and not the bad ones. But if you just look at the overall numbers in the systems, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, the higher level chests are getting way better rewards.
Can we get ways to increase our ECR so we don't have to create multiple accounts? Is this a potential for a token burn somewhere, like SBS burning goes to ECR somehow?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of some type of ECR potion that would be like in a voucher store, so you could spend vouchers on an ECR potion. Again, like it's not as simple as just throwing a potion out there that increases your ECR at some certain price, because increasing your ECR in Diamond or Champion League is way, way, way more valuable than increasing it in Bronze or Silver League. So if we just had a single priced potion, that would not work across all the different leagues. So we'd have to figure out, either there's different potions for different leagues, or the potions apply different amounts of ECR at different leagues, or whatever it is. But that is definitely something we're considering.
Yeah, I like this a lot, because you might not be able to play on Monday through Thursday, but your weekends you might have all the time in the world. So like being able to burn down your ECR, but also still get rewarded for the time that you're able to play, that makes sense to me. So yeah, things like that are on my brain. All right, praise. I want to express gratitude to new reward rework. It brought me back into the game instead of renting out my cards for the last 6 months. It's much more competitive and fun now. I had to make another account for fun, which I didn't do in my year with Splinterlands. Thank you for your work. So yeah, that's it seems like it's killing it. I asked Doogie to kind of run and get some numbers, or just get a little bit. And he talked about people in Bronze 1 used to only be able to get 9 chests at end of season, but then he's got a Silver 1 deck earning bronze rewards, and he's got 77 chests earned. And there were still something like 9 days left in the season. So, it's nice to see that you guys are able to earn a lot more chests. I know it was like the least satisfying thing ever to like get to the end of a season and get your 1 chest. And now having rewards that are sort of like commiserate with your deck quality, or the league that you're in, it makes it so that we can give a lot more rewards out, and that seems to have a positive impact. And then with the other thing that we're seeing is DEC rewards in the upper leagues are huge. Diamond is proportional with their growth in players, but Champion Multiplier being a 48 times DEC boost means we're giving away 2,500% more DEC right now. So the guys in Champion are seeing a 25x increase in rewards these days. So and as a consequence of that, we're seeing people moving up leagues, or it seems like there's evidence that shows that people are moving up the leagues. So we see Bronze being down a lot, and we see folks that used to just hang out in Bronze are really starting to push up. And like Matt was saying, because of the way that there's a reset after the first season, I think we're going to see even more of this next season as people are finagling their rewards and really getting a sense around, what does this look like? So Matt and I make changes that we know are in the best interest of the game for the long haul. We don't look at like a 1 or 2 week time frame. We look at like, at least a 1 or 2 month time frame for these breaking pieces, and then looking at economies that form after that. But really, it looks like The rewards changes freaking nailed it. Overall, inflation is down while player rewards with cards is up. Like, if that's not killing it, I don't know what is. So we only have 10 minutes left. Maybe we can take just a handful of questions, close it up, and wrap up here. Sorry to not leave a ton of time for everybody, but a lot of tech firms and crypto firms have frozen hiring due to market conditions. What's the situation at Splinterlands? Yeah, we've slowed down a little bit, but I don't think that we've frozen. Splinterlands, like we're projecting a really nice Q3 and Q4, but we're still conservative with our spending. You know, a lot of these companies raise an absurd amount of money, overspend, and then revenue dips and they're screwed. You know, we plan our business around what we think will be the crappiest revenues possible, and everything else is gravy. So we're not in the same situation that a lot of other companies could be. There are still many bots in low, bronze, and novice that have no cards. Can you make ECR drop faster for players who battle with no cards? Also, can we get a filter button to remove starter cards from view?
That was for me. Yeah, the filter button to hide starter cards has been on the quality of life list for a long time. I mean, I can't specifically speak to all these things, but like we do have some people that try to focus on quality of life things when as much as we can. And these are some of the things we want to get in. I don't know about ECR dropping faster for players who battle with no cards. I mean, ultimately, I think a lot of the bots haven't a lot of bot players just like turn it on and just forget about it completely, even when they break or not earning anything. So that'll just hopefully go away over time.
All right, I think let's stop questions. I know this is short. Sorry, guys. Put them in the town hall, and we'll get to them next week if you have more. So here's one from Fat Jimmy. 2 small requests: in-game notifications of when action is needed in brawls and tournaments. So that sounds like a quality of life adjustment. And then maybe it's just those 2.
They're 2 quality of life things. Again, like I guess we'll try to use the feedback.splinterlands.com site, and we try to get the quality of life things as much as we can.
Yeah, 1 in brawls and the ability to switch summoners as easily as you switch a monster. Yeah. So those are quality of life. With we'll try to build those in. And actually, the team that was doing quality of life was really responsible for ranked rewards. So now that ranked rewards is over, I think they'll have a fair bit more bandwidth to be able to go get other things on the list done, because ranked rewards was not like really that's meant to be rapid development. Ranked rewards is not rapid development, so they got a much bigger project than we would normally hand them. So hopefully they have a lot more bandwidth now to go back and add these things. Question: is it planning to add utility for vouchers? Doubling voucher distribution amount just hurting SBS value, since the majority of stacking rewards come from voucher airdrop. Given the node reward early, it just hurts those SBS holders who didn't buy the node.
I feel like that's kind of a funny question, because like with the licenses, we've sort of added a bit of unlimited utility for vouchers. So I guess under the assumption that no one wants any more licenses going forward, then yes, I guess that's correct. But I mean, our assumption and what we're working towards is that licenses will be increasingly valuable as we go forward. And then, vouchers have a certain value amount discount. So if we do have larger players outside of the existing ecosystem who want to get in and buy nodes licenses, they're going to, if vouchers are available for cheaper, it's going to be a no-brainer for them to buy them. So, really that's sort of like unlimited voucher utility, and it's just a matter of, increasing demand for that product. But aside from that, vouchers, we've said, are going to be needed for every single promotion thing that we do going forward. So, we announced Splinterfest, and, there's going to be some type of voucher bonus for getting tickets for that. There's going to be additional promo cards in the future. You're going to need vouchers to get those. When Rift Watchers comes out, there's going to be vouchers needed for, likely for bonus packs and for some type of pre-sale. The details aren't figured out, but vouchers are going to be involved. So, yes, maybe right this second, there is not a ton of demand for it, but, that's, I would say, a little bit short-term thinking.
All right. Locking cards was discussed for account safety. Could these cards be allowed to be rented out while staying locked in the future? Isn't that already
Locked cards
possible?
are able to be rented or
Yeah,
delegated.
you can do that now. All right. Eldon is talking about exploits using the new focus reward system. Do you have any update on when you think that the new reward focus system will have some edits or changes? Is that in the hot queue, or is that a longer term thing?
No, it's in the hot queue. Like I don't know if it's like this week, but like maybe next week or something. It's not super hard to add more focuses. So yeah, we're gonna have a whole bunch, and there's gonna be lots more. So like the idea is that the splinter focuses will be like, not even the majority of them. So every once in a while you might get a splinter focus, but the rest of the time you won't.
Yeah, we knew it wasn't perfect. We knew that we needed to get something in quick. So give us another week or two, and hopefully that stuff will start changing. Can we suggest that when we choose which chests we get for your focus and or end of season, like if you finished in champion last season, you can then choose champion or below chest. This is instead of the current system that you are locked in to earn reward points, reward shares, I think, for champion, but you are one league down in the new season and get lower rewards. Like I guess they're trying to figure out, are there ways to lock themselves in a league of their choosing?
Yeah, I mean it's been like less than a week here of this, so we haven't even done one full season. So these are the type of things like after a season or two, we're gonna look at and see where it shakes out. But I don't think we want to just start saying, hey, we're gonna just make all these changes based on like 1 week and not a full season of information.
Yep. Question: will there be Splinterlands design updates for the front end? Last week I made a small script ready to fix major issues in design on the web front end.
Be happy to talk with you and work with our developers and designers.
Yep, there we go. I think a staked SBS should dictate your ECR recharge rate. That's just a suggestion, but something to consider. And then
yeah, it's a possibility.
It was mentioned that you can get a notification telling you that unstaking or unlocking was initiated. How exactly does that work? Where and how?
Yeah, typically if I misspoke on that being implemented yet, I apologize. But the Friday bot on Splinterlands or on Discord, which is a general Hive notification bot, does have Splinterlands notifications. And I think if it's missing those, then I'll talk to the developers to get that added in ASAP. But that's what I use typically for Splinterlands notifications.
Sweet. All right, that's gonna do it for questions today. Matt, thank you for coming in a little bit extra. Yeah, this wasn't expected, but glad to have you here to be able to answer some
I like
questions.
to keep up on what's going on.
Yeah. Liam and Nate, thanks for being here. And WeirdBeard, it's a pleasure to have you guys constantly hosting these things with us. Rondon, thanks for putting together the teams, the platform, the way that we can sort of broadcast this out, and thanks for helping to do that. And then and to the new folks, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. This is what part of what makes our 150 person team pretty awesome. And hopefully you guys can hear from the people that are part of this, and the talents that they bring and the skills that they bring, and know that we used to be a handful of yahoos, but now we're like a whole armada of yahoos. And that's a nice change. So I guess just generally speaking, as I'm looking around, I know that like Bitcoin's been in a bear market for like 6 months, and that can be frustrating and certainly can hurt token prices. But Matt and I remain like really excited about the things that we're building. We're excited for this team, excited for the potential of this game, and
I don't remain excited. I'm way more excited than I've ever been.
Well, sorry to misspeak, but yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity here, and I think we're building something pretty awesome, and we think we can scale, and I think that this thing really has some legs, whereas other projects, they're going to meet these bear markets and die. Splinterlands has been here 4 years. I'd go to these conferences and sort of snicker that last year half of them weren't there, next year half of them won't be there. And yet Splinterlands just keeps on showing up and running these events and getting new players. So we're on the right track. We're doing the good things and growing the game. And really trying to make sure that the benefits are aligned with the economics that make the most sense. And thanks as we go through these changes and learn what to do and implement best in class practice. And we're stoked that you guys are here and working with us. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being part of our community.